So back to this issue where we have Shabab in the UK
Yes.
who are watching the news, reading the news, seeing wars, oppression, injustices, seeing every Tom, Dick and Harry speaking about Khilafah and Islamic State and
Yeah.
Sharia law and
Yes.
hudud and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone but the Muslims are talking about
Yes.
fundamental aspects of our deen. It's not an ideal situation that the youth even want to be in. But how do you deal with, as an imam or someone who is newly graduated from Medina University or even the other prominent seminaries, how do you deal with a generation of Muslim youth who have had to kind of been fast-tracked?
It's in their everyday vocabulary now. So when they discuss Islam, or
These things come up.
when you ask them about, Islam and how is your lived experience of Islam at the age of 17, 18, 19, 20.
These things come
what
up.
are your interactions in university, on campus?
Yeah.
What kind of pressure do you get from institutions that you're currently in, whether you're in college, uni, or whatever it may be? What do you speak about at home? What do you speak about with your boys? Whatever it may be, you'll find that a lot of the youth, especially from my experience, are discussing matters
Yeah.
that some people who have dedicated their entire decades are shying away from, because they know how complicated and how
I don't think
murky.
complicated is the word.
Well,
I think you're looking for another word. Not even murky.
Controversial,
Controversial, perhaps.
concerning on the potential impact it can have on them personally.
Look, man, I mean,
Yes.
But it just goes to show that does that mean that the people who have dedicated their life learning have established a wisdom, or does it show that the youngsters are lacking wisdom and are just basically discussing what's been shoved down their throat anyway?
So even when you speak to some of the brothers up and down the country, do you guys want to be in a position where you have to talk and articulate different things? Ideally not, because we don't know about these things. But since we're given the context and the reality that we're in, can you help us? What would you do? Do you then tell them no, go back to basics and say no comment?
Yeah.
Or is there a level of expectation, responsibility?
In my experience, this kind of rhetoric of this doesn't concern you, don't worry about it, it doesn't work.
No.
Because for the reasons you mentioned, people are experiencing this, man. University, college, a Safiyyah coming to your house, it's there. So we have to equip the Muslims, the general Muslims, with arguments that are robust, that are battle tested, that are strong, that are, based on what we know of the Sharia and also what we know from political philosophy as well. And it has to be articulated in an intelligent way, enough for them to digest it and also return it.
Yeah.
And give it if needed. And this is, I don't want to keep plugging Salam, but this is what we're doing. Just the other day, alhamdulillah.
Bare plugs.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Keep
Sorry
going,
about that, guys.
Carry on.
Can you put links as well? Is that possible?
What, donation link as well? There may be some conflict now, but why there's no conflict? Look, just so we can move on to the next thing. If you could give one message to your fellow peers, even those who may not even come from your kind of theological background or school of thought, etc.
Aspiring students.
Students, those who have kind of made it, they're here, and they have to face the shabab who have these kind of questions and queries. What would you say to them in terms
I would
of dealing
say,
with?
number one, humble yourself. Humble yourself, because it is very hard, brothers. Once you've memorized Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, you've memorized about 20 mutun, the texts and aqeed and fiqh and so on and so forth. It's very hard to humble yourself now and to say, you know what, I don't actually know anything about this topic, and please teach me, educate me. And I had these kind of conversations after I came back. So I would say humble yourself. The essence of ilm is tawadu'. It is tawadu'. It's humility. If you lose humility, you've lost everything. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the person with kibr will not enter into Jannah.
So do you turn the shabab away then, as a result of not having that?
This message is addressed to my peers. This is addressed to people who are aspiring to tulab al-ilm and stuff like that. Humble yourself. Become well educated, not just in the Islamic sciences, but branch out. Branch out, but have your circle around you. Have your circle around you. Now.